Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we've got a super simple little modification. You can do this to most of the older Subarus from, like, I would say probably like 99 to 07 at least. You might be able to do it to other Subarus as well. It's a pretty cheap modification, but it's like a drastic difference when it comes to the look of the vehicle when you're inside driving. So we're going to be replacing all the dash lights. We're going to be changing them from the original green, like so. And there's even one or two of them that are out. We might be able to replace those lights as well. I'm going to look into that, see what we can do. There is a light bulb down here that we can replace for the brindle switch. Here's what we got. These are little T5 LED lights. I don't know much about them. I will link them in the description. When you buy these, get the ones with the flat LED heads on it. I've had bad luck with the dome looking ones. They just burn out really easy. There are two pieces to this setup. So there's the actual bulb itself, and then there's the connector that connects it into the cluster panel. So it's super easy to uninstall this cluster. Basically there's two screws right up top here. There's one here, one here. Sorry for the horrible lighting. It gets dark super early nowadays, so it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Once you get those two screws out, you go ahead and just pull this down. You're gonna have to drop the tilt on your steering wheel. Make sure it's all the way down. That just gives you a little bit more room here, and you just pull this plastic shroud out. And then after that, there's a few screws. I'll update you once I get this piece out. It's super simple. All right, so how you get this piece out, we've got two screws. There's one hole here, one hole here. I've already got them out just to make this easier. You guys don't need to sit here and watch me undo a couple of screws. The lighting is absolutely horrible, so I'm using a flashlight to help. Next thing you want to do is you want to come over to the side. You've got your tilt steering handle right there. Go ahead and pull that down. Your steering wheel will drop down, push it all the way down, and then you just grab the lip of this and you pull, and this should just kind of pop right out. And you're gonna have to kind of work it, you know, out and around, but you'll eventually get it out just like that. And then you're left with, let's see here, there is one screw top middle there and one screw on each side. So 3 screws. Let's go ahead and get that out, and then there's just going to be a few connectors, and then we're basically ready to install these new bulbs. These lights do come in their own separate package. I got a pack of 20. I think it was like 10 bucks. These connectors came in packs of 10. At least the ones I found, and I got 2 packages, so I got basically 20 of the lights, 20 of the connectors. I think I spent like, I definitely spent less than $20, and this is probably one of the best, cheapest modifications that you can do to mostly older Subarus. So anyways, I've got the 3 screws out, one there, and one up top. Put this light here so we can see a little bit better, at least something. And then basically you want to pull this, and it'll just kind of start popping right out. It's gonna be kind of tight because of the connectors on the back. Well, I guess these connectors are on top here. So, there's a connector here, and I don't think I can do this one-handed. We'll see if I can. Connector right here. This is on a 2004 Forester. I was able to get that one out. Okay. And then you just kind of work your way around. I imagine the rest are on the top as well, which it looks like there are. So I think there's a total of 3 connectors. So let's see here. Let's get some light over here. That's good. There's our next connector right in the middle there. Once you start disconnecting each one, it gives you a little more play in each one. All right, so I did use a flathead screwdriver to get in there. All the buttons are facing towards the gauge cluster, so I used a knife to kind of pry that connector out. It's sitting up there, in there like that, right? Then we have our last one, so you kind of got to put it back in, work it around to where you get access to this last one right here. Same thing, push that little tab in, boom. And then the wiring does kind of clip in right here, so you just pull that out. Right, and then your gauge cluster should be free. Kind of wiggle it around, find a way to get it out, just like that. Okay. So now we are right here with this. Okay, so in order to pull these out, you simply just twist to the left. It rotates about 90 degrees. You pop it out. And then as for reinstallation, we got a new one here. I already pulled this one out for you. Put it in, line it up to where it drops in, and then twist to the right about 90 degrees. These new connectors are going to be a little bit tight. You do not have to buy new connectors. You can take the connectors from the old bulbs and just put the new lights into those. I just did it because if I ever want to swap back to the regular lights, I have the whole assembly and I'll just set those aside somewhere. Okay, so as for these longer ones on top here, so we pull that bulb out and then we just slip a new one of these in without the new connector. This is my first time running into these connectors. I've only done this on a WRX and other WRXs. So yeah, my first time running into these, but they do still work. Okay. Alright, so we've got every bulb swapped over that fits, except for these three big ones here. Those are just, I'm not sure what size those are, but I'm gonna have to do some research and get some blue ones for that. So we'll see what it looks like. It's not gonna be completely blue, I don't think, at least, but we're gonna go ahead and reinstall everything. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put this cluster back up in here. We're gonna get the three connections plugged in, and then we're gonna turn the vehicle on, because what might happen, I've had it in the past with some of the cheaper dome looking bulbs, is you turn it on and some of the lights are not working yet. If that's the case, you have to pull one of these out and then you actually flip that bulb 180 degrees in the connector, and usually you plug it back in and it works. So we'll see if I have to do that here, and then I'll give you an update once I got it back in. Okay, so this is where the troubleshooting begins. I've got the car turned on, and as you can see, I've got some lights working, right? So those three big bulbs, the one I just pulled out to show you guys, I believe was obviously burnt out because this one here has not been working. Those three bulbs are green bulbs, and only two of them are working right now. So those two lit up these two gauges, so those are still green. Our brake indicator is blue. We have our right blinker that's working, that's now blue, but the left blinker, even though it's blinking outside, is not blinking. So that tells me that's one I need to flip 180 degrees to get it to start working. So yeah, and then we'll just kind of go from there and see if we can get any more lights working on this dash. So basically pull it back out, unplug it again. This is where it gets kind of tricky. It takes a little bit of time to figure out, but you will eventually get all of them working. You will also need these number 193 LEDs. That's for the three main gauges. There's one there, or three across those two, I believe. So right now those are still green. It's the next day. I had to go order these. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put these in. You can see I've got most of the stuff working. And it's just a matter of pulling it in and out and flipping them around until they start working. So brake lights on, left blinker, right blinker, we got brights. So yeah, and these, as you can see, these gauges are still green. Can't really see them that well. So we're gonna go ahead and swap those out, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So these are the 193 bulbs. As you can see, you've got one big one, two big ones, and three big ones. So these are the 193 bulbs. All right, so it looks like I've got everything working. I took this cluster out about 10 different times, kind of seeing which bulbs worked, which ones didn't, going swapping around, doing a 180 with the bulbs that were not working. So I finally got it all working. And as you can see, all my warning lights work. Yeah, basically everything works. The brake light continues to stay on for a while. It will go off eventually. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there because my e-brake is down. So that light should not be on. So I'm not exactly sure. I've tried swapping out bulbs. I'm not sure what's going on. So as you can see, the entire cluster is blue now. We've got left blinker, right blinker, we've got brights, your battery symbol, all check engine, all that kind of stuff. So everything looks good. So yeah, that's about it for this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to, drop a comment. I'd be happy to help in any way that I possibly can. The next video I am going to be doing is these lights. There's 3 little twist-in bulbs, a little different style than what we just dealt with here. So once I figure out exactly what those bulbs are, I will do a video on that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.